Hello, welcome to the Square Spiral Garden. It's the middle of November. Today is the 17th. I moved this mat over here because I'm working on the entryway where it used to sit, and she loves this mat. Anyway, I'm gonna have to step over her. So it's the middle of November. We have not yet had frost. Usually by this point we've had several frosts, and that's not what's happening this year. We do still have a lot that's growing. Of course, the daylight is pretty brief now, so things don't grow terribly well unless they're very shade tolerant. But of course, the cosmos is still fantastic. My rosemary's been getting big this year. It's really settled in and has been getting large. I got it to survive the extreme cold we've had the last couple of years by covering it up, and it did really well this past winter. I covered it with a sheet, and then we had a nice thick snow that landed on it before the snow came before the temperatures dropped, so that provided a real nice blanket. And here's our oregano. What do you want? What do you want? Except to bother me. Ooh, oregano smells so good. I cleared some of the weeds out of this area, and I'm not sure what this is that's coming up. I'm hoping it's mosh or something that I'd planted, and I don't remember what I planted here. It could just be weeds, but I'm thinking I'm gonna, if it turns out to be weeds, I'm gonna hoe this area and put something in that'll grow during the winter, some greens. I had 3 or 4 chicory plants here, and it looks like 2 have survived. Hopefully they'll start coming back. We still have mustard greens. Mustard greens doing nicely, and the dock. My garlic greens have done really nicely since the temperatures dropped. More garlic greens over there. More cosmos. And oh my goodness, look at this. Is this another garlic coming up? What is that? Let me smell it. Yes, it is. The garlic walked. This is the garlic stalk. Well, it's unattached now. And it's about 3 feet tall. And the scapes that grow on the top, one of them must have fallen right about over there and planted themselves. Well, that makes me happy. I like it when I get free plants. The tomatoes that I did not plant are very slowly ripening. That's what I was talking about. There's not enough sunlight now for most plants that need sun to ripen to get them there. This is a tomato. It's not suffered yet from cold. I think we are about 1 week away from cold. It looks like I have a potato volunteering over here, and the last of my sunchokes. I don't know if this is just seasonal and they'll come back. We'll see. I'm not gonna dig them up or anything. We'll see if they come back next year. I have not weeded anything else, but I have enjoyed some of the mustard greens that volunteered. Here we have another tomato. They're not ripening, and if they're not ripe by frost, I will bring them in and we'll fry them. The rest of the garden it just looks so green, and it's so strange to see it this green in November. But I'm just, I'm thankful that the plants did get a chance to revive. I'm hoping that that does not set them back for when the cold weather does come. These are my asparagus. Asparagus is so soft and ferny at this stage. I still have the Chinese princess trees volunteering. They're a terrible invasive. It's an extremely soft wood that grows very quickly, so you have to cut them down repeatedly. It's extremely prolific, and you know, like most weeds, like that's what they do. They grow quickly, they seed a lot. So I wanted to look at one other thing. I dropped another round of coffee grounds here on my raspberry. So my raspberry just barely survived. It's thornless, or maybe it's thornless blackberry. I've had it in the ground for I think 5 years now, and it only ever just barely survived year after year. It would, I'd get about that much growth, like just a few leaves, just enough to tell you it was there down at the base, and it would struggle along and do almost nothing. And I finally thought, wait a minute, it's a member of the rose family. I've been feeding my roses coffee grounds and they love that, so how about we try that? And by gum, it worked. Look at this branch over here too. So it's finally this year, it's been in the ground, I think since I planted this garden, so that's a good 5 years, and finally it's starting to thrive, and that makes me very happy. That's definitely a success story. It's coffee grounds, just dumped a bunch of coffee grounds. That's probably the 3rd or 4th time I've done that. I'm gonna plant a kitty. I'm gonna plant a kitty cat. No. Come on. Come on. Move. More asparagus. The serviceberry, not dead. I keep thinking it's dead, and it's not. But look, it's not, obviously it's not thriving. Serviceberries are members of the apple family, I found out long after planting this and wondering why it never could thrive. And here we have some of the fruit, little tiny, they're so cute, not very useful. The serviceberries are, as apples, are prone to the apple cedar rust. So this year I have treated them for apple cedar rust. It was the first year. So they're struggling. I have another little tiny one over there. Oh, I walked past the figs and forgot to check on them. Here's my little stand of bee balm, also known as Monarda. And oh no, hey, get out of there. That is a fire ant mound. I'm gonna have to tell my husband. Fire ants suck. You're about to find out how bad fire ants hurt. All right, let's look where the fig tree is. Okay, still looking good. Still looking real good. Woo! Almost overbalanced. That was that one. And the other one is here in the corner. It's also looking really good. Good. Okay, I have not been a very good gardener this year. This is not news. Mostly right now I'm just astonished that it's like a week and a half from Thanksgiving. And this is what the garden looks like. Look at my elderberry. Still has leaves on it. Temperatures have finally started to drop a little bit. Not dramatically, but a little bit. This guy had leaves a week ago. No, this one did. Oh, the deer ate them. Look at that. Okay, I didn't realize that deer would eat elderberry. I think that's their footprints in my compost heap. Here's my third stand of garlic greens. Doing real nicely. And I think we might have finally killed the mulberry. This mulberry that I planted in too small of a location. It very rapidly took over the area. And I see a KK. And shaded everything out too much. Our canna lilies, see, the cannas even are still just like green and happy. This is their first year in this location, so they'll do better next year, I am sure. Here's the apples. The apples are getting the spots on them now. I guess I should have. That's the apple cedar rust. I thought you only needed to spray them in the spring. I guess I need to do some more research. There's one of my solar lamps. Another one. They suck. They worked for about a week and then quit. There's the wee pond. It's become the mint pond. Yarrow's doing really nicely. Yarrow always does nicely. I've read that it helps other plants. I don't know how that is. And then we have the larger apple tree. I'm trying to think how I want to prune this guy next year. Next year will be a pruning year. It doesn't need to be, they're supposed to be dwarf, so they're not supposed to be very tall. And this one's already, I guess, about 10 feet. I don't know. Oh, there's a honeybee. Oh, it flew away. Honeybee's like, I'm not a movie star. Don't look at me. All right, so there's your update on my terrible garden. Be well, y'all.